What's good, YouTube? Nathan back with another video presentation. Hope everyone had a great week. Hope everyone's has plans for a safe Halloween weekend. Before we get into the video, there's some things that I want to say up front. I am going to produce a video sometime tomorrow, Saturday. I'm going to give my take on the NFL and some of the likes and dislikes that I have seen this year. What could have been better? San Diego Studios for MLB The Show 20 dropped some fire for the 10th inning program. Be on the lookout for that video. Probably, we'll do a live stream. It'll either be on Twitch or on YouTube. I'll leave my Twitch, if I remember to do that, in the box below. But probably, I'll let you know in the MLB The Show video. Let's get into it. Did you see the title of this video? Yes, consider this a part 2 of the video I did talking about Ice Cube and where I stand with that situation, with this situation that's occurring. And the reason why I put part 1 is I consider this a part 2 because let me start off by saying this. You know, when I started making videos, this was my mindset and my ideology changed right around mid-year between my freshman and sophomore year of college. I began to see the world from a different perspective. A different perspective economically, politically, mentally, socially. And what I have seen I don't think the Nathan from high school would really understand as to the Nathan in college, because when you transition from high school to college, you're maturing. You know, you're still young. You're not fully matured yet. But when you begin to do your research, when you begin to understand what's happening around you in society, when you begin to think for yourself, that's when your mind develops. That's when you begin to put the pieces together and understand that this is the world that we live in. When it comes to situations like this, I'm talking about Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne and him coming out and endorsing President Trump shows me a couple things. One, it shows that no matter what, the way we think, what we believe in, people are going to say what they want to say about you. Now, Lil Wayne tweeted out that Trump understands where he's coming from, and we want to make sure what his platinum plan is. You know, we're all on the same page. And what I have begun to do is I have begun to get away from this like-mind thinking, because when we conversate, when we are diverse in thinking, that's how conversations are created. We can agree to disagree. Now, listen, I'm not telling you who to vote for. If that's what Lil Wayne wants to endorse, that's what he wants to endorse. But I want to remind Lil Wayne that really this situation that with Lil Wayne, it proves what I was trying to say in the first video with Ice Cube. You have to be politically organized when you go to these politicians or these parties, because Lil Wayne is saying he understands this and this is what he's going to do for us. Who's us? Are you talking about the same rappers at whoever that are in your elite, that are in your class, or are you talking about for the benefit of all African Americans? That's what has to. That's what Lil Wayne's not understanding. What I mean by political organization. See, and let me put it like this: when you are working a job, any job that you work, you're going to go to your supervisor, whoever it is, and you're going to say, "Hey, listen, I do A, B, C, or D, all this. You want a pay raise? You're going to demand a pay raise. You're going to demand, hey, I feel this is what I'm worth. If you can't give me this, job B is willing to pay me more than what you're paying me." That's how it works. Look at, for example, look at these athletes when it comes to money, especially when it comes to free agency, because they're going to negotiate for the most money that they can get, particularly, for example, in the NFL, because it's more cap than the NBA, where someone like Anthony Davis can get $400 million, and that's fully guaranteed. Whereas opposed to Patrick Mahomes, who just signed a $500 million contract, he can get the $500 million, but you gotta understand, you gotta look at the guaranteed money. See, the guys are going after the guaranteed money. Patrick Mahomes can get the $500 million. He can get all of it if he stays healthy, and if Kansas City doesn't come into a problem where they go, "Hey, Pat, I'm looking at the books. We can't pay you. Could you take a pay cut? Could you take a pay cut to bring the cap down?" And some guys will do that. Some won't. And what I'm trying to say is that's how political organization works. When I use the job thing as an example, I'm saying you're going to your supervisor or you're going to whoever, and you're saying, "Listen, you gotta have a group. You have to have some type of united. There has to be some type of unity of everyone. It can't be just one person, or it can't be just two people. There has to be some type of unity. And when we all come together and we create this agenda, which some of us may not agree on, but we agree on certain things that need to be on that agenda, then that's when you go to both parties and you say, "Hey, listen, we know that the election's coming up, and we want to know, can you do these things on this agenda? If you can't go by this, no, we'll go for this person. Hey, this person ain't doing this. Same agenda." That's how it works. Now, I had some people a while ago. This was way back my freshman year, college. And we were kind of having a similar discussion of like this. And they were basically talking about how, voting doesn't do anything. These politicians, I feel like I'm just for one thing. They don't. Let me put it this way. Especially when it comes to election time, I am a big advocate of knowing, on not just on the national level, but on the local level, mayors, DAs, circuit court judges, district congressmen, congresswomen, all of those offices. I am a huge advocate of studying each person that runs for office. I want to know their issues. I want to know what they're bringing to the table. I want to see, okay, you're saying you're going to do this. Hey, the person that's in this office couldn't do this for me. In order for me to vote for you, this is what I need to see. That's political organization. That's what I'm saying when it comes to Lil Wayne, when it comes to Ice Cube. Listen, I'm not telling you who to vote for. What I am telling you is you have to be politically organized, and you have to have an agenda. When you look at the other communities, when you look at the white community, when you look at the Hispanic community, when you look at the other communities around us, they have an agenda. I want to pose this question. Let's say whatever happens, if either candidate wins this election, let's say 2 years, right? Let's say 2 years into the election, you're dissatisfied. You're not happy with the progress. You know, you're not seeing what you thought this candidate would have told you. And also to, I will say this, and I know this is a little off topic, but also to the media plays a role in that. That's why, again, I'm an advocate of doing your research. You cannot always believe what the media tells you. Cannot believe that all the time. You must go out there and do the research. Particularly when it comes to things like this, when it comes to the election. You can never trust the media. The media is going to tell you what they want to tell you. Now, I'm going to get into next topic of this video. I was watching on YouTube, it was Instagram Live video chat between Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes. I'm going to leave that in the description below. I'm going to leave the timestamp of the conversation they were talking about Ice Cube in this election. Now, because the reason why I'm doing it, because I want you to understand where I'm coming from. They both made, particularly Busta Rhymes, he made some good points, but they had some things backwards. And I want you to understand what I'm trying to say. Why I'm critiquing that part of the video. Now, there was one particular part of that clip where Busta was talking about, well, how does the voting work? Well, how the voting works, it's a total of 538 electoral votes. You need 270 to win. Now, generally speaking, that's how the president and the vice president are elected, by electoral college. Each state is an electoral vote. 538, you need 270 to win. So people look like, well, the popular vote, that doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It's a compromise. But in order down here, you can basically break down the presidential election into 5 parts: primaries, caucuses, national convention, general election, electoral college, and then the inauguration. That's how you can break it down. Okay. But in that video, they both, for the most part, like I said, where I agree with Cube about what he's doing. But what they're not understanding, it needs to be politically organized. Because when I sat there and I said, if Trump, either candidate, Trump or Biden, if either one of them come to us with this agenda and say, this is what I want to do for you, and we agree to it, and let's say those 4 years, well, you said you were going to do this. I never said that. That's egg on our face. How it works, we present them with our agenda. And it's an agenda that we all have agreed on, particularly, again, as a community, and present it to these politicians. That's how it works. These politicians are going to say any old thing to get your vote. That's why I said we need to hold politicians more accountable. And particularly with this chaos that you're seeing, it's time for people. That's why I'm saying you need to get out here and vote and understand your candidates. Do the research. Know the issues. Hey, this person couldn't get this done. Can you get this done? If you can't do it, I'm going to vote for somebody else. That's how the game's played. That's what Joe and that's what both of them understand it, but they're kind of missing the point. Now, when you look at Lil Wayne, the same thing. Now, I'm the tweet, I paraphrasing it, but again, like he said, he's basically was saying we talked to him and he understands. Again, what's going to happen in the 4 years? This platinum plan that he's talking about, he manipulates it. What's the excuse? Vice versa. That's what I'm saying. We present our agenda to them. Them presenting an agenda to us is a disaster waiting to happen. Now, it goes back to what I was saying. We have been conditioned. And again, I blame most of it the media. But more importantly, I hate to say this, but I blame ourselves. Because we have been conditioned to think alike and not be independent free thinkers. We have to really do away with that. We have to be diverse in thinking. We have to have some type of diverse dialogue. We can agree to disagree. You may not like what I said on that and said right there, but we have to, again, when it comes to topics like this, particularly with this election, it must be a united agenda. An agenda that we can all agree on, and where we go, hey, this election's coming up, y'all. What's on this agenda? This is what we agree on. He's bringing to the politicians. Because the politicians, again, are going to say any little thing to get your vote. And some of them, for the most part, are real comfortable in their positions. It's time to get, that's where you present the agenda to them, particularly to the person that's running for that spot. Hey, it's the truth. Now, Fat Joe said something in that clip where he said that's the first day Biden's got to sit down with us. Doesn't work like that. We go to him. We demand. We say, hey, listen, here's the agenda. This is what we want. We put our votes in you. Here's our agenda. You can't get this done, the next 4 years is going to be a problem. We'll bring someone else in here who can get the job done. That's going for any, that doesn't, and it doesn't matter what party. And that's what I was saying in that Ice Cube video. And I'm saying it in this video. November 3rd is this upcoming Tuesday. Now we already know people already have their sides. People know who they're voting for. But when it comes to things like this, Lil Wayne and Ice Cube, political organization matters. That's all I wanted to say in this video. Be on the lookout for those 2 videos. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope everyone has a good Halloween. Stay safe. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace. Stay up.